Hi everyone, my name is Stacy Davis, and I am going to be talking to you this week about the Richard Prince case and his new portraits exhibition. This has to do with copyright and appropriation on social media. So, Richard Prince is an artist who is known for appropriation. He uses other people's work and changes it and alters it and plays it off in a way as his own. He not as his own, but he puts together exhibitions and using other people's work. So recently, he came up with this Instagram exhibition, which viewing it, it's very modern, relevant, and it really is artsy to people. And so, but he did this by finding content on the platform and curating them, having them printed on these large canvases, and then he hung them in an art exhibition. He also made money off of selling these. Frequently, he sold them for around $100,000 each. He did not get user permission to use these. And the issue here is that exactly is he found these images through Instagram, but he did not contact the user to see if he could use them, and now he's making money off of them. So does this violate legal copyrights, and is this ethical? Looking at it legally, there's the Instagram terms of service, and who owns your social media content? Well, there's no mention of ownership in the terms of service on social media sites, specifically Instagram, and this has a lot to do with issues of this is, you can take a picture of anything you want, and you play it off as your picture, but did you own everything in that picture? You're also agreeing when you sign up for Instagram to these terms of service, and you're agreeing that Instagram and others can use your content. Looking at it further, when you're posting these things, you're posting to publish. You're self-publishing something. Social media in itself is known as a self-publishing place to be. So doing that, you want to be found, and Instagram can reuse your stuff, brands can reuse your stuff. That's the whole point of a lot of people being on social media. Looking at this even further, there's implied permission legally. And legally what that is when you do something, and for example, on Instagram, when you hashtag or you mention a brand, if you hashtag something, you're now discoverable. You hashtagged knowing that you wanted to be part of something. That means people can find what you use, and it gets curated into something else. So if you're going to have a problem with somebody else using your picture, you shouldn't hashtag it. You shouldn't mention somebody in it. When you do that, you are publicly posting that content. Also, with Instagram, you can choose a private or a public account. If your account is private, Richard Prince wouldn't have been able to find your account, and he wouldn't have reused your content, which you also hashtagged because you wanted it to be associated with something out there. So an appropriation is, gathering other materials, like we said, when you hashtag, it's kind of like curating content that's not yours. So looking at this, taking it further, looking at it ethically, some people got upset with Richard Prince for what he did for reusing those and selling those. But people aren't upset when CNN posts their tweets and puts their tweets on their website. Why is that? Just because it's CNN and they're more well known? And CNN can make money off of you being on there, right? You supporting their story. People are going to go to that story. They're going to click on ads. So CNN's making money off of you too. How is that any different? So this is where it becomes an ethical issue is, you chose to have a public account. You chose to submit to this self-publishing website, and you agreed in doing that to the terms of service that people could reuse your stuff. And then Richard Prince also, if you did contact him, he would give you your photo. He wouldn't sell it to you. So ethically, what has he done wrong? Just because he didn't contact somebody, he might have been wrong legally, even though the Instagram terms of service protect him. But ethically, really, he was following the rules. And if you contact him, he'll take everything down like you ask. So a way to protect yourself ethically is, remember, you do this to yourself. Don't have a public account. Stay away from hashtags and don't use mentions. If you don't want to be found online, then don't make it so you can be found. Because if you are making yourself easily accessible and then somebody does something like this, aren't you technically the one who's ethically wrong by accusing them of stealing your content, even though you put it out there publicly for fair use? So that is my stance on Richard Prince, and these are all of my sources. So I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say back.